Fushigi is a bowl. Contact juggling is an art. The tricks and information shared in these videos is the result of hundreds of artists devoting many hours of practice. Michael Motion is the artist who pioneered this sport. I ask that you respect the skill of those who have devoted their time to contact juggling. Thank you and enjoy the tutorials. Welcome to Fushigi Tutorials. Today we'll be learning the cradle to palm transfer, going over the index and pinky finger. So, the first part that I'm going to teach you is the cradle. The cradle is made by holding your hand out and slightly indenting your middle finger so that you can place the ball there and it makes a sort of cradle. Hence the name. This is a very important move for contact juggling because it's used in most tricks that you'll do. You have to be able to have a good stopping point with the ball, or else it'll just keep rolling and you'll have an endless amount of time. So, you want to practice holding the ball in the cradle. You want to be able to go up, down, sideways, and circles, because you don't want the ball to be able to get out of this position. You always want to be able to get back to the cradle. And you also want to practice with your left hand. Actually suggest trying to learn this on the left hand if you're new, because if you learn it on your left hand, if you're right hand dominant, if you're a righty, then it'll come a lot easier on your right hand. But if you learn it on your right hand and then you try to learn it on your left hand, everything's going to be a little bit more difficult. So without further ado, let's keep going. Now you have the ball in the cradle, and what we're going to do is getting the ball to the palm. Now this is achieved by rolling the ball over the index finger in a clockwise motion. Now with the cradle you don't have to use motion to hold it there, but with this one you need movement. So the way that I learned this was I'd throw the ball up and I'd watch it fall back down. There's that point right before it falls back down when it kind of looks like it's not moving, and that's when you want to move the ball. So you're going to push up with your hand and turn your hand clockwise under it. Now, if you don't want to go right over the finger, it's okay to give it a little bit of air when you push it up, and you eventually want to decrease that space between your hand and the ball. The next move is to go over the pinky. Now this one's a little bit more tricky because you're going to need more motion, and you're going under your hand instead of, with this one you're going over. With this one you're going under, and you're going the opposite direction. So it's the same concept of pushing your hand up, but you're going to have to turn your hand even more and let the ball roll under your pinky. So that'll take practice. Okay, after you can go from the top to the bottom, you want to work on going from the bottom of your hand back to the cradle. This one will be a little bit difficult for you, but if you've practiced the cradle, it should come just as naturally with time. So instead of going clockwise when you throw the ball, you're going to go counterclockwise. So I'll do it slowly. I'll roll the ball over, indent the middle finger, and catch it in the cradle. And then for the other side, you'll have to turn your hand counterclockwise, get a lot of motion for it, and let the ball land in the cradle. And that concludes the first lesson. I can't stress enough how good it is to learn it on both hands, because you don't want to be able to do it in one hand and then pick it up with the other hand and go, whoa. It's not too much fun, and it's cooler if you can do it with both hands. It's like being ambidextrous or having two dominant hands. So that concludes lesson 1 of Fushigi Tutorials. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks.